got Palo Verde coach Mike Wells here. You're in a unique situation that not very many coaches go through, if at all. I mean, how have you handled this change, playing a JV schedule? How's that been for you?
Well, it takes me back to when I was a JV freshman coach back and freshman coach back at Santa Rita in 07 and 08. I'm sorry, 07, 08. Not that far removed. I mean, we're trying to keep things as similar as possible as we normally would as far as schedule and stuff. Although, we know we have one less work day during the week, so we're trying to move that back to, our normal Monday is now Friday and so on and so forth.
Right. How have the kids responded to this challenge of, you only have like 20 some kids. How's that been going for you with them?
Most of them have responded pretty well, and we've lost a few for a few reasons. We've gained a few kids. I mean, oddly enough, we even had a few kids come out just a couple weeks ago, and it's been good. I think the overall reaction to the students has been good.
Mm-hmm. Just talk about the challenge that you have here, like the coaches have at Santa Rita and places like that, Catalina, even Choya to an extent. Just what kind of challenge do you guys face that other coaches don't have to go through?
I think they have to go through them. I still think we all kind of do, especially here in Arizona, or at least in southern Arizona.
Right.
I mean, I talked to a few good friends of mine who coach in Phoenix, and some of them have similar problems, some of them don't. I mean, in my opinion, I just don't think that athletics overall is prioritized in our city or for southern Arizona.
Right.
We don't get all the funding or all the resources that I feel like I wish we could get.
Mm-hmm.
A few programs that I have talked to in the Phoenix area, I look at them and I talk to them, and I'm going to be visiting them over the next couple weeks. And they talk to me about how their program is and the things they're doing. I'm like, wow, that's the way it should be done. I'm from Ohio. It's a pretty big high school football state.
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of family members who also coach high school football there, and we talk all the time. And not jealousy, because a lot of things come with jealousy, but I envy their situations.
Right. And what do you think next year will bring with this situation? Do you feel like things will grow from it? Because a lot of these guys will be coming back next year, hopefully. I mean, what are your thoughts about that?
Yeah, our goal is to return every one of these guys we have here, and a few guys that are out injured, and a few guys who are taking care of some personal business. Right now, we got about 42 total on the roster.
Okay.
And like I said, we're probably missing about 10 kids average due to some different things. But our goal is to return all 10 of all 40 of those players, and then get our next incoming freshman class and continue to grow the program. It was a very difficult decision to make at the beginning of the season, and it seems to be paying off at this point. It is very early in the process, even though we're almost one season through it. Who knows where we may not know for the next 2 to 3 years. I mean, I guess in the macro or micro of the situation, hopefully the incoming freshman class is larger next year than it was this year.
Right.
But in the macro, we may not see the change for another couple years.
Yeah. Have you found yourself recruiting, or your staff recruiting in the hallways? Do you teach here?
I don't.
Oh, okay.
But we do have a couple coaches on staff, and they do recruit. And I'm here at least 3 times a week during the lunch hour, and I'm here doing the same thing, talking to kids. And that's how we've gotten a couple more kids coming out. So it's just getting them out. It's get these kids out here, get them coached up.
Great. What about the off season? Spring, summer, to try to get things really rolling. What are your plans there?
Yeah, so as soon as the season's over, and our process for getting kids out here isn't going to change very much, except for I'm going to beg the administration probably every Friday morning. I'm going to send an email and say, hey, can you guys make this announcement? Can you guys make this? And it's going to just be a repeat message. And matter of fact, I might make it a push notification in my email. Just automatically send this message to administration early Friday morning and make this announcement. These are the days for spring football. Come out and see what we're about.
Right. You guys are 2-1 in JV games, so you've been able to win in situations. You had a tough loss against Push Ridge, but talking to the coach, some of the coaches and the players, it was even though that was a loss, you guys took a lot from it. I mean, what were your thoughts about that?
Well, and like everything in life, I mean, when we get challenged and we get, when we take a challenge in life or we go through hard times in life, it's that saying, it's not how many times you get knocked down, it's how many times you get up and what you do afterward. And the result from the kids and the resolve they had the next week, and I think we had our best week of practice the week after that, which says a lot.
Yeah.
It says a lot about where we're at.
Yeah. Now you're a Jeff Skurin disciple, so to say. Have you talked to him at all about this situation, or I mean, have you reached out to other coaches maybe for support or any kind of advice, or any just to talk?
Yes, and yes. Yes to all of those. So I mean, to keep it in short, I speak with Jeff, and I spoke to other coaches that I'm friends with, and people that I appreciate their opinion and things like that, and that I respect, and I reach out to them. I am 46 years old, but I am kind of young as being a head coach, not by age, but being in the head coaching game,
both
right?
Age too.
Yeah. So, and I get that, it's still all kind of new to me. And then you have all of the non-football related stuff that has to do with the decision we made that I still had to kind of juggle and learn a lot about. So, but I do reach out quite a bit for a lot of advice.
Yeah. Just one last thing. A lot of people, I've been out to a lot of high schools and talked to a lot of coaches, players, parents even, and they're like, why did Palo Verde not play varsity? A lot of people don't understand the situation that you're in. Just clear that up maybe for people, like why you guys decided to do JV and no varsity.
Yeah. In very simple terms, it's safety. It's player safety, and we put player safety above all else. Obviously, they're student athletes, so academics are very high there as well. But without the safety, in my opinion, none of that other stuff matters. I mean, we have academics, and then when you're talking about sports after academics, it's safety of the players.
Right.
And I put that at the highest priority above anything else. And I'm a parent, just like many of your viewers and people like that are parents. And if I'm not putting their safety first, what kind of person am I?
Right.
I pride myself on the relationships that I build, not only with the student athletes, but anybody that I come across in my life. And I'm kind of old school in that way. I'm a man of my word, high character, integrity type of characteristics. And being a parent, there's no way I couldn't put safety first, in my opinion.
Right.
So going through that decision now, I talked to some coaches that I know throughout the whole country, and there are a lot of other programs that have done very similar things to what we have, just not here in Southern Arizona that we can speak of in the recent past. Some things have worked out for some of those programs, and some programs have blossomed. And there's varying differences and reasons for all that stuff as I reach out, and I'm talking in Texas and other states, big football states, Texas, Georgia, Florida. There's schools in those states that have had to do very similar things. And luckily, through social media and going to coaches clinics and things like that, and meeting some of these coaches, and then reaching out and pardon me, and networking, you start talking and you meet people, and they say, hey, you should talk to this coach over here because they did the same thing you did 10 years ago or whatever, or 5 years ago. So I've had a lot of conversation about all of it, before the process and after the process, during the process, all of it. So there are some things we're doing kind of behind the scenes, as far as trying to continue to build the program and continue to do things in the right way, from me reaching out to these other coaches who've been through it, and hopefully we can pull through. I mean, that's the goal. The goal is to get Palo Verde Titans football back to where they were in 05, 06, 07, when I was at Santa Rita with Jeff Skurin and a whole slurry of other great, amazing coaches there. And I can't even begin to name the rest of them because I would forget somebody, and that wouldn't be a good thing. I remember Santa Rita Palo Verde games. We came here and standing room only.
Right.
And they were really good teams on both ends. And when they came over there, it was standing room only. It was the battle of the East Side, and that's what I want. And not only for just us, but I want it for Santa Rita. I know Saguaro's doing pretty good, but I'd love to see them continue to grow.
Right.
And Catalina, we all need to grow. We all need to come together, I feel like, as coaches a little bit more. And I know I'm getting a little bit off topic of your question.
Yeah.
But I feel like if we could network more here in our own city, the way other states and other cities network with coaches, I think we could do each other a huge service. Listen, there's no secrets in football anymore. Like nobody's coming up with the grand scheme of, I'm going to scheme this coach to death and I'm going to win. And there is some of that, but nothing's changing. It's blocking, it's tackling, it's toughness, it's perseverance, and that's what's going to win you games, right? So I wish we could network a little bit more, and I think that would help the whole quality of the whole city of football. We have these programs who have been up on top for a very long time, some that are building and mediocre and so on.
Right.
But if we all work together more, I think it would really help the whole product of Tucson and Southern Arizona football.
Right.
In my opinion.
You're wearing the appropriate shirt there, be the change for that.
Yeah.
I mean, do you see Palo Verde and Santa Rita getting back to that level? Some people might think it's impossible given the situation of player involvement, and so what's going to take to turn that around?
Well, I mean, we're a growing city. We have high schools popping up all over around us. I mean, Micah Mountain, as a crow flies, is probably 3 miles from Santa Rita.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's in TUSD, and it just in these inner city schools, it's just getting tougher. And open enrollment is playing a huge factor in that. Huge factor. That started back, I'm guessing now it was about 6 or 7 years ago, I think, when I was at Catfoot with Jeff. And it's changing. It's changing the whole playing field of everything. So to me, it's the same. One of my same philosophies in life. It's about the relationships we all build. So our feeder program is the Tucson Scorpions, which is an amazing youth football program. And our feeder junior high. So I spend time talking with them, making relationships with their coaches, with our feeder junior highs. The stuff that I'm allowed to do that's appropriate, and deemed by the AIA that's okay, is what I do. I'm selling myself. I'm selling being a Palo Verde Titan, rebuilding the program. I'm selling I'm a genuine human being who really cares.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's who I want here. I want kids who care. I want kids who want to grow and evolve in life and things like that. And we'll grow together. And then we'll build this thing back into a championship caliber program. As far as getting all of us back to it, I sure hope it happens. But we do have a very difficult challenge ahead of us for all of us to do that.
Right.
Like I said, open enrollment is a huge factor in all that. And I like it, but I don't like it. I mean, I'm sure there are schools, and I don't want to name them, I'm sure there are schools here in town who go, man, open enrollment's the best thing in the world.
Right.
But that's their perspective.
Yeah. Well, I know I speak for a lot of people that best of luck to you, and a lot of people can support you, or they do support you about what's going on here. So best of luck to you going forward.
Yeah, I appreciate your time, and I appreciate what you guys do, you and your brother both, for football and all sports. I see all your guys' posts every day, and I love it. I appreciate it.
Thank you.